Okay, so it's because in the first sentence, in the context of what follows, for healthy eating from time to time, for healthy eating from time to time. So it's something that has to be for healthy eating. So recommendations makes the most sense that when we make recommendations, they're recommendations for something, or they're recommendations to something. Um,
So say recommendation for or two. Yep.
yeah, in this case, for healthy eating, because of the, I think because of the, um, because to say recommendations,
To be honest,
but if you're the one giving recommendations, you need to change them based on the new knowledge.
Mhm.
So they're imagining that we're looking at this from the perspective of expertise.
Mhm.
And what do experts on nutrition tell people who aren't experts about how they should eat?
Mhm.
So you're right. From the perspective of an ordinary person, you either
Take it.
accept or reject the
Accept or reject.
recommendation. But when it comes to a public health professional or a nutritionist, because the next sentence says nutrition is an art as well as a science. So they're suggesting that this is something that we practice, something we do. Um, um, we need to revise our something for, I guess, it,
It
if
might
there
be
were
a.
another, if there were another option, like we need to revise our plans for healthy eating from time to time.
Yeah.
Then if we're the ones making plans, then it would be about us as consumers of that information. But if it's recommendations, so it kind of depends what's available. So we might have plans, they might give recommendations, or we might if we're nutritionists. Um, yeah, so it kind of implies that someone's perspective is involved here because we've got that first person plural, but it's not clear what that perspective is until you put it in the full context.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's as we discover more about how our genes and our environment. So we discover something about something else. How one thing and another something. So as we discover more about how our genes and our environment, it's becoming increasingly difficult to provide a single set of recommendations. So
I think interact is the only word, but how they interact with each other. There is no each other here.
yeah, you don't need them with each other. You can just say how two things interact. So we observed how two species of birds interacted.
Mm.
You don't need the with each other. Uh, but if you wanted to be specific and clear, um, how they interact, how something interacts. I guess I'm trying. We need a verb here,
Recommendation doesn't work because they need a verb.
and it has to be a
We,
verb
we
that,
need a verb here. Okay, yeah.
yeah, that genes and environment can both do that process.
I think they can interact. I hope so. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
they can interact together. That is, they're two different sets of influences that interact. Um, and they interact to have an effect on individual people.
Yeah. Adam, can you also give
It's becoming increasingly difficult to provide a single set of dietary
proper
recommendations that will be appropriate
appropriate for
um,
everyone?
for everyone.